Ladies and gentlemen, it's Saturday night. The final table of the $365 buy-in unlimited re-entry, 20K guaranteed at Texas Card House, Dallas. We started with a ton of entries given everything going on this weekend, and we are down to the final 9. It's Ben Kirby here with you, as always, along with my esteemed co-host, Greg Potter. Greg, how's it going, man?
It's going all right, Mr. Kirby.
Excited to be here with you once again. A fun stream last night with the next gen Bubbas.
Yep.
But now we're back to some serious poker here. Tournament poker as 10X shoves for his last bit here in the big blind. Or he's all in for a stack in the big blind.
He had less than one big blind. So here he is all in for 20K with the blind sitting at 15, 30, 30 on the stream. Not the worst hand to be all in with. Honestly.
Definitely live.
Definitely incredibly live against a lot of things. Jason M, Queen Jack offsuit. Going to raise it up. Potentially trying to just isolate the all-in, which is probably the most likely result, I would say. Try and let the man bust.
We started with a 20K guarantee, and the prize pool rose up to $55,800, 186 entries, and $14,089 up top for first.
And that's pretty awesome. Oh, and here we go. RP ships it.
Okay. This is what I'm talking about, baby.
I like the ship here. This is really good. They send suited. You can't fold, and flat calling isn't amazing either. If you can take down just the 70K raise and then isolate against 10X here, it's a pretty slam dunk result. So I like the jam here for 500K or 450K.
And, Jason M only has 90K behind.
I didn't see how short he was. I would have just shipped it if I was in this spot. I didn't even realize. Queen Jack versus Ace 10 classic race here.
So we have a three-way all in on our first hand of the final table. Let's go.
Man, let's go. I don't even think 10X had looked yet because he was like, hopefully. Yeah, aces, hopefully.
The equities are pretty close. Jack on the flop
Jack's
for
just right in the door.
Jason M.
Jack, or are we going to see him triple? Oh, and a king.
King, so 10X.
10X is taking the main. And
RP.
there's still quite a sweat here with the gutter. Does not get there.
Wow, so possibly the worst result in terms of laddering.
Yeah, exactly. For everyone else at the table, they're like, all right, the king takes the main. And then the other short stack, Queen Jack's going to take the side.
All the short stacks still remain. Nobody ladders, and RP is the one that loses with the best of it pre-flop.
That's crazy that nobody busted.
Right.
That's actually very surprising. Definitely don't fault any of the players. They all made the exact correct plays I think they needed to.
Yeah, at this blind level, playing 15K, 30K, when you got Queen Jack off and 90K behind, I mean, you have 3 big blinds.
Yeah,
just kind of got to go with it.
Got to go with it.
And maybe that's what his plan was from the get-go, trying to maybe get a triple up by just limping there. I don't know.
I think he min-clicked.
Oh, he min-clicked
Yeah,
pre?
I think he raised up to 70, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
okay, I'm getting twisted around because 10X was already all in the big line for his whole stack. You're right. So he raised it. Tracking. All right, fun hand. Let's keep those going for the final table. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in on their Saturday night. I see some very familiar Chat Pro faces. Pez, who was in the cash streets last night. Usual suspect, Jedi Master Ted, NFY, PM. PM says I'm playing next Saturday. Come through, baby.
Come on through. Be happy to see you. If you're like many of the other people that are out on the floor, you can always say hi to me. I typically play most of the days before I do the commentary. So if you see me, feel free to give me a shout. I'm always happy to talk to you.
I see Walter Rutledge in the chat, who's final tabled this event before. What's up, Walter? I don't even know if you wanted to be called out, but what's up, Walter?
Well, what's up?
Jason M here with another semi-playable hand. Under the gun is not where you want King Jack, but when you're a shorty.
But when you're this short, I think you still have to go with it. I was going to say you can either fold or go with it. It's super close. I think if it was suited, you'd probably have a little bit easier time doing it. But shipping under the gun is risky business just about all the time. And here we are seeing Eric C. Huge stack, 1.2 million.
Ooh.
Just going to limp in with the pocket fives. I actually kind of like the limp in the early positions. You don't want to fold pocket fives.
Right. But you also don't want to overbloat it with.
Yeah, you don't want someone to jam over top of you, and then you just lose extra money that you didn't have to.
I like it. Yeah. 10X here with 60K behind. I mean, it's any two, especially with ace 8.
Oh, yeah. Got to go in. There it is. Andy, ace-10 offsuit in the big line. Middle stack. I think, given the ICM pressure, he's probably got to fold. In terms of considerations for laddering up, Eric C is going to call off a lot here. So there's not a lot of reason to jam over top. And I think the worst option is definitely to just flat call between. So he does make the fold, which I like. Here we go. He's got one ace and an 8. Classic flip, everybody. Eric C ahead by a squeak.
I like the pace that we're going at this final table. Sometimes it can start off a little snoozy, but everybody's getting it in here. Oh, bottom set.
Bottom set for the 5s. Ace-8 drawing stone dead. Wow, how about we just boat up just
Eric
for fun?
C boating it up. And the big blind there would have rivered Broadway.
Oh, yeah, true. He would have, yeah, with ace-10. It's unfortunate.
So 10X is going to be eliminated in 9th place. He's going to take home, let me pull it up, $1,451 for his 11 hours of play today. These players started at 11 a.m. as they always do every Saturday with $365 as an entry fee, and they could rebuy or re-enter as many times as they wanted up until the end of registration. So I'm not sure how many these players are in for multiple bullets, but they're in the money now, and that's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, always a good feeling. It's just fun to make final table too.
Absolutely, it feels like you're doing something with your life.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
You're like, this poker thing's paying off.
Yeah.
Also, guys, real quick, Streamlabs, we're doing some betting that's open for the next 23 minutes about who's going to win the final table. Use exclamation point bet, and then put in their names. There you can see it at the top of the chat, pinned by TCHLive and Streamlabs. And make your wager on who's going to take this tournament down.
Very fun stuff.
Get
a little invested in this final table.
Yeah.
And
even if it's for fake internet points, it's fine.
Put your bet out there about who's going to win. Andy, Jason, Kiwan, Eric, Safish, Ryan, Kevin, Zozimo, and Wei Zhang.
Oh man, here we go. Andy waking up 2 queens. Zozimo opened up in the cutoff with Jack 10, dead button, so he's effectively the button. I like the open with Jack 10, though. Andy, of course, going to put in a raise here.
Andy getting rewarded for folding, maybe correctly, the ace-10 previously with his own set of ladies.
Yeah, absolutely. Zozimo here, Jack 10 offsuits. I think facing this exact play, Andy's real short. He's never bluffing here, right? He's probably not doing this too light either, committing a 5th of his stack free with all of the ladder up implications. Zozimo could probably let this one go. Suited, you might be able to call at least one time. We'll see what he decides to do here.
I'm sorry, one more.
Does no, I thought he called, but I guess he just had a roller. So we've got very contemplative Zozimo here. Does put in the call.
So he's in position. He's got that going for him, and he's got a hand that plays well post.
Plays well enough.
But, you know, all these chips are so valuable, so you've got to really pick your spots carefully.
Yeah.
So he does flop an inside straight draw.
Gutter ball and doesn't have a hardest hand. That kind of stinks. Andy here, just gonna check. I think honestly I would just ship it. I think I would just ship it here. Pot odds be damned. If your opponent just happens to wake up with a king, good for him.
You're saying Zozimo ship it or Andy ship it? Oh, yeah.
Andy with the betting line, I think he ought to just ship it here. If Zozimo woke up with a king, good for him. It's called a 3-outer, so
right.
You kind of have to go with it, I think, because if he jams, you can't fold. Like, you're never folding. So, but he is going to go for some value here on this turn card. Great turn card for pocket queens. 7 pairing the board. Bottom cards, Zozimo. Not going to have a lot of 7s. Pretty rare. That he's going to wake up with trips here, so he's going for some thin value against an 8, maybe a flush draw, maybe something like exactly what Zozimo's got with Jack 10 calling.
So he's achieving what he's trying to achieve.
Yeah, man.
Very thin value, and he's getting it.
He's getting it.
Can he fade a 9?
10. He can fade a 9. He's not. I'm sure he's probably not super happy about that 3.
Sure, but now you've got a stack size that you basically have to, I would think, rip it, but he's just going for. He wants to get paid by exactly an 8.
Yeah, exactly an 8.
And he actually thinks, you know, Zozimo might actually have an ace or an 8 if he's calling on that turn.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's not unreasonable by any means.
$500,000 chip pot headed over to our guy, Andy Dubb. Pretty nice play there. Kind of unconventional line, but he made it happen and chipped up significantly.
Chipped up, and that's what you love to see at a final table when you're a middle stack. Take some of that ICM pressure off, if possible. Work your way into the top 3 or so you can let everybody else duke it out in the gulag below you. So. Bondo Tater says, "What's up, Greg P? What's up, Bondo? One of those. Sorry, bud. I butchered your name."
You're getting some disagreement in the chat about the rip it with the queens.
On the flop?
Yeah. The chat pros have come out early.
Nah, I think they just have to ship it. You're so short. Like,
we have the power.
If they ship it on you, you can't fold. If they ship it on you on the flop, you can't fold. So you may as well be the aggressor there. And with the range advantage, etc. Like if he has a king, it's he has a king.
Kevin O looks like he's limping with ace-3 off. We're playing 15, 30, 30. 15,000 in the small blind, 30,000 in the big blind, and the big blind owes an additional 30,000 to account for everybody's antes as Jason M looks down in a pretty nice ace-jack offsuit.
Bob is correct. We have the faces for radio, so we are back here. That's why we're back here.
That's right. That's right. So Jason M in the small blind with ace-jack, he kind of got a 3-better fold, and he does elect to 3-bet. I know how much people love it when we say elect. And he does elect to 3-bet basically his entire stack, effectively going all in with a little bit back behind. He leaves 20K behind, in case he gets 4-bet, I guess. But he's going to take it down in the small blind. Shout out to everybody tuning in to the Saturday night stream. Hope you're having a good weekend. Let me know what you've been up to today on your well-deserved Saturday, hopefully time off from work, all that good stuff. If you're enjoying time off of work and free poker content, hit that like button for me. We appreciate all the engagement so far. A lot of good tourney discussion as Eugene Green does what he does best, gambling tons and tons of TCHLive loyalty points. He just won 8,500 TCHLive loyalty points and has 87,000. As Zozimo looks down at the tanks, pocket tens, and the hijack.
The tanks here. Yeah, sitting with, what has he got? 16 big blinds? 16 big blinds. I think you can go for a mid-click here, or just like a slight over raise. I love everyone talking about my queens comment. It's just so funny. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for queens to shove. Even if he has a worse hand like ace-jack, you want that to fold. You don't want to give that a free card. And there's a lot of reasons to protect the queens there. I'm going to defend that. I'm going to defend my decision there. And all that being said, I'm not a tournament player, so.
But you are a 2-card player.
Yeah.
And there's some similarities here.
There's quite a bit of similarities. Let's say.
Jason M with another ace-jack on the button. This time it's suited. And he basically, I don't think you can just call with 310 behind. You either got to go with it or fold, is what I'm willing to bet Greg would say. But I'm going to hedge by 100%. Saying that's not what I would say.
Yeah, I think you just got to ship it here. Raise.
He's leaving the 20K behind.
Is he leaving
or 10K
one
behind?
Big blind behind? Yeah,
30K behind.
He's leaving one big blind behind. I think. Oh no, I think Ben. Yeah. There you go. They caught it. Accidentally brought in the small blind for the count here.
This dealer, Ben, is a beast.
Oh,
he dealt the mixed game a couple weeks ago for like 12 hours straight.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That game, it's so much fun to do. Wow. Oh, God, here
baby,
we go.
Let's go.
Eric C. with ace-queen of diamonds, man.
Dude, what do you do with ace-queen of diamonds here? I mean,
it's a rough spot. It is. It's so rough.
1.2 million in chips? I don't know if – oh, yeah, he's got a bunch of orange. That's a fold.
That's so sick.
I don't know.
There, and tens are going to call.
I guess facing on an open and a 3-bet, but The
I mean,
price.
Jason is short stack, so he doesn't have to have like a super nutted hand here. An
Right.
ace queen, like you have to put your opponent on ace king or like pocket queens to justify folding. I think there. I would have reshipped it and tried to isolate.
I think so too, but I guess if you want to preserve your chip lead, I don't know. 5-5-3, pretty good flop for tens, and not a good flop
Not a
for
good
ace
flop
queen
for
or ace jack.
Ace jack. I mean, he's got backdoor spades and backdoor wheel, so you know. What are you going to do? Yep, got a call. I'm surprised they didn't just ship it in pre. It's like you may as well just get all the money in.
700,000 chip pot. Jason M's tournament life at stake.
Yep, indeed. How about an eight? Oh, picked
eight
up
of
all the
spades.
outs in the world
Tons.
on this turn card. And how about
spade
the
on the
How about
river,
nut
9 of
flush?
spades.
Nut flush.
Nut flush for Jason M, or ace high flush for Jason M, and he's going to get a full double up plus some. So he's back in it. Man, he needed that one. I'm going to look up everybody's Hendon mob in the chat.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, man, I love this job.
It has its moments.
Nice.
It certainly has its moments, as we're seeing ace jack. Pure double up, pure clean double up. I'm sure ace queen is definitely happy it folded, result-oriented wise. Though I think most often that is probably just a rejam. It's really close, honestly. And Beckhold said ace queen was the right fold. It's close, man. It's really close. But I don't think it. I mean, I think we all know it's a tournament.
Yeah.
I think we're all there on the same page with you, Matthew.
Right, but
that's
it's a game of
incredibly close
imperfect
spot.
information, and that's the beauty of it, and that's why we can fill this room day after day, is because everybody's got a different way of interpreting and playing that imperfect information.
Yeah.
That's why the game is alive and well, as we see 8-7 suited go up against Jason M. Again, he's V-pipping like 90%, Jason M, because he's had a slew of pretty good hands.
Jason going to c-bet here. King Jack, 2 overs.
Safish. Betting a call, just a float.
I like the float. He has so much equity on this board, it's so hard to get him out. And how about picking up open-ended now?
That's why you maybe sometimes float that flop. A lot of cards improve your...
There is a lot of cards that improve, and a lot of cards he can very comfortably check call down on or even check raise.
6 of spades if you want.
I think if it's after the turn checks through, I like his issues in here. He's going to barrel. I love this. I love this. Very value-heavy size, too, and, of course, King Jack not in a position that it's going to be able to call. I think if he had ace high, it's a lot more reasonable. Luke Milo says, why does Hendon Mob say Greg Potter has won $2.46 and a coupon for Sizzler? Hey, the coupon.
That's generous, I think.
Yeah, that was the biggest win for me, I'd say. Wow, if we see Jason M, look him up light here. This would be just absolutely sick.
Yeah.
It would be the sickest thing ever. But, yeah, he does, in fact, let it go. I like Satish.
And that's why you float a flop every once in a while.
Float a flop every now and again. Pochinki PUBG says, what's first place? First place is what, just over 14K?
14,089
There
for
it
first
is.
place. And all these players right now are guaranteed 8th place money of $1,814, with the next ladder going up to $2,232. Heck, second place pays $9,068. So, like, this is the best tournament in the area week over week. If you're going to play one tournament and even take a shot, this is the tournament to take a shot in, I think.
Best tournament by far in the northern part of Texas, for sure.
And I would play it if I didn't know I was going to be commentating every single weekend. Maybe I'll take a break one weekend, now that I know how every single person in this room plays after having done the stream.
I've thought about still taking a few stabs at it.
Because it would be sweet to ship that 14,000.
yeah,
I mean, it's gone up to 20,000 or close to 20,000.
Yeah, it was like 17, I think, at its peak.
Pretty nice.
And that's a pretty good score. That's a good day of poker.
For $365 buy-in.
Yeah, for real.
And, for a lot of these players, this might be one of their biggest final tables, and
or their only final table.
or their only final table. A lot of kind of unknown faces, or first-time faces. Sometimes we see some recurring appearances at this final table specifically because it's so popular, but I don't really recognize many of these guys.
Yeah, I think I really don't recognize almost any player here except I feel like I've seen seat 6 around. Every other player is very unfamiliar for me. Wow, so Sheath here checking top pair twice when raising the blinds. Very interesting. Basically a slow play. Oh, ships it. Boom. Ships it. He got the max from RP with
nice.
Jack 7. Wow. He was setting the trap, trying to get the short stack to put it in light. I actually kind of like that. In retrospect, I didn't realize that RP was quite so short, getting in there with the Jack 7.
Pez, what's your full name? I'll look up your Hendon Mob. He said I could.
GT968, always a warm welcome from him, or to him, as he's here all the time. Love to see that.
Look, I'm not trying to brag, really, but if you did look up my Hendon Mob,
oh yeah,
you would see that I'm 1 for 1 in caches, and I'm 8,539th all-time money leader in Texas. So look, I'll be signing autographs later.
Yeah, later.
Thanks
on.
for asking.
Only
I do know a thing or two about
world.
limit horse poker tournaments, and I'm still riding high off that for the next year.
I would ride that high for
because I was just never going to cash in a tournament ever again.
Michael Nolan says, "Where is Jason, aka Donkey Ben? Haven't seen him around in a while." Yeah, once everything started opening up a little bit, so the man has to work. He can't just play poker all the time anymore. So yeah, he has not, unfortunately, been around much. Wow, we see Kevin O here, spiked top pair. I assume this is a limp pot. And I like I'm gonna butcher that name. Satish. I don't enunciate well, so it's already tough.
It's all right. You play cards well, man.
Yeah.
Well, we all have our strengths.
And he's gonna float once again here. I do like this float too.
RP is a familiar face. I think he's played a stream previously.
Yeah, he's wow. Picks up the world on the turn.
Wow. Yeah. So heart draw for Seth Fish can barrel.
Oh, check raise here. Immediately putting Kevin O in a spot for his. Oh, all in is what it was. Okay. Here we go.
So 4-1 favorite for Kevin O to double up. He needs this one. Satish has just got a bazillion chips.
Yeah, he is currently the chip leader. So
he needs a heart and heart alone. Only 8 hearts. Only, I guess that's 1 removed.
And he spikes a 9 in the end. Not going to give it to him. Kevin O getting a clean double here from Satish.
Kevin O really needed that one. It's a nice feeling to have new life at a final table where, you're concerned about just busting out early. It's nice to get a full double with the old Jack 4 ball.
You got to love that. Really surprised we didn't see RP just ship it with King, Queen, and clubs pre-flop, though. That's definitely a hand you can very comfortably get it in with just 5 big blinds. Wouldn't have worked out in this case, but that's all result-oriented.
Walter, I looked your Hendon Mob up, and it does look like there's POI points that are assigned for TCH tournaments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it says here, because Walter got second in this on June 5th, and he got 71 GPI and POI points.
Very interesting.
I don't know how Hendon Mob works or how they track all that, but
I don't either, man.
it just really somehow shows up.
I wonder if they track it through like whenever you have to sign a G99 or whatever it is for whenever you win over like 15K or whatever the cutoff is. I don't know exactly what it is.
Nick Vu said we could look up his Hendon Mob. He took down the Bay 101 Shooting Star in 2020. It's pretty solid. Pretty saucy. A few Aria tournaments. Win tournaments. Pretty cool. Second in an HPT in 2015 for a nice score. Yeah, we need to start a chat Hendon Mob for sure. Tracking TCHLive loyalty points.
Yeah.
And hours hours watched. Taking a look at the chip count there, Satish and Eric C. pretty close at the top, and RP needs a miracle at the bottom. Everybody notices that he's got a very short stack, and this is where you start talking about ICM considerations. Like you see guys maybe play a little more snug because they are expecting the super short stacks to be all in.
To bust out at some point. I mean, being a short stack, though, it can change. Everything can change in just 2 or 3 hands.
That's right.
As we've seen, Sturdy a couple weeks ago was the stone bottom.
Yeah,
table,
like one chip.
And then ended up chopping first place. So
I see you,
never know what can
Pez.
happen. Oh, here we go. Satish getting the ladies here in the hijack.
Big stack, big starting hands.
And he just limps in. I think he's hoping to induce a jam here from RP, which is exactly what's going to happen, which is probably, I mean, I actually really like the limp, considering that RP is on your left, because if somebody flat calls or then ships over you, you can very, very comfortably
saucy,
re-jam. So it's a rough spot to be in, but yeah, of course, the Thish going literally nowhere shows the ladies. RP drawing the spades, a wheel draw, or hopefully can spike a 3-outer. Let's see what the flop's going to bring us.
Yikes.
Wow, that's
Jack 10-9 open-ender and an overpair for Satish.
Yep, no spade in sight.
Dead to an ace and an ace alone.
Ace alone. Still 3 left in the deck, so it's possible, but does not come.
Does not come. RP is going to be eliminated in 8th place. GG's to him, $1,814. And that's a ladder, my people. Everybody's now guaranteed 7th place money. Yep. Everybody that remains, $2,232.
Satish man going to increase his already substantial lead over most of the table. Now well ahead of everyone else by at the very least 400,000 chips. Over a million for some. Running
pretty hot. Hey, I want to give a shout out to one of our Chat Pro local regs, Matthew Lopez. Pez. This guy has won 3 of the daily tournaments here at TCH. He's won the Tuesday Bounty twice. He's won the Thursday 265 once. And he's had a couple other runner-ups at TCH. Shout out to Pez and the loyalty and for, doing that tournament grind, bro. GG's.
GG's. Aloof Meatloaf says, Greg, I'm using my like today for the tale of your biggest regret. That one is easy. There are 2 things that I regret a lot. One of them was chasing a girl to college. The second one being staying an extra 6 months at that college when I should have left. So those 2 are very closely aligned. And while we're seeing Satish just keep waking up with it, man. Oh, and Kevin O. Putting in the 3X here.
Pez for Prez for sure. People are asking what the buy-in is. It's a $365 buy-in that started at 11 a.m. today.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kevin O just ship it. That's what I would actually prefer to see that. I mean, it's a little scary when you see the big stack open for the full 3X here, but I don't see how you can ever fold ace-jack. Yep, there it is, all in. Zuzimo obviously has a very easy natural fold here, 5-3 offsuits, even though he is an incredibly short stack per the moment. And we actually might even see a call here from Satish. King Queen suited, can't really fold, I don't think. Yep, there it is, snap calls.
He's running hot too, so play rush.
And it's closer than normal here. It's like nearly,
almost a flip.
Yeah, almost a flip. Both players suited. Oh, and queen in the door, man.
But an ace on the flop. 2 hearts, too.
What a sweat. Give us a diamond on the turn just for fun.
So he's dead to black kings and queens only.
Black kings and
Not
queens.
dead. I mean, he's got a ton of chips remaining, but.
Yeah.
Queen! Wow, black queen on the river!
Whoa!
Dude, when you're hot, you're hot, bro.
Yeah, seriously, he's just
Kevin O cannot believe it, nor can I, man.
Nor can
these tournaments,
even, man.
Dude, these tournaments seem like there's some dark arts sometimes because, like, it's legitimately a 3-outer he hits on the river.
Oh, man, that was sick. There's no other word to describe that except sick. Sick to your stomach.
Golly, so Kevin O is going to be eliminated quickly in 7th place. $2,232 headed over to him. And we're down to 6. We're playing 6 max poker. for at least $2,762. Yeah, gut punch for sure. That is not a fun feeling when your tournament life is on the line.
Yeah, especially maybe if this is your first final table. Aloof Mutely says, hopefully you learned from those mistakes. Yes, I certainly did.
Go ahead.
I'm rather happy with where I ended up. I say I regret those things, but I only regret the decisions I made at the time, not where it got here today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you also, this is my wife tells me all the time, it's like, you did what you could with the information that you had at the time.
Yeah.
And now you've learned from it for sure.
And now I'm in a great job doing something I love, and I'm dating a girl that is really cool. So
that's awesome.
So we're all right.
So you're on your own life heater.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, little bits.
Shout out to Andrew McCullough for the very kind, flattering words. I enjoy watching these streams and listening to you guys. Best commentators next to Ali and Nick. Good pairing. I'll take it. Thumbs up to you, Andrew McCullough. Hopefully,
I'm sure Jason's going to take these jacks and ship it in with him.
Surely. Jason Emmons had his share of premium starting hands.
That's what I'd really like to see, honestly.
Facing an under-the-gun open from Rick.
See, that is a little scary facing. There it is, all in. Rick opening under the gun, ace-10 here. Tournament final table, you can probably just let this go. I think facing under the gun. And then, because especially you have to consider the short stacks behind you, because if you do get re-jammed out, this hand's not strong enough to call. So I probably would have just let it go. It's a lot closer if the cards are suited in this spot. I would probably then limp call, but probably makes the correct fold there. Good fold by Mr. Jason. Don't blame him for trying to take the hand he's dealt and run with it to try and get some value. But unfortunately, a middling stack woke up with jacks there, so it is what it is.
Yeah, good fold by Rick there under the gun. That's just a weird, uncomfortable spot at a tournament. Ace-10 off under the gun. It's just like, well, I have to. It feels like I have to raise, but also I'm pretty vulnerable against.
That's the biggest consideration, I think, is that the hand is just too vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that is another huge consideration you have to take. You have to really make sure you're looking at everybody's stack sizes that have later actions than you. If the short stacks had folded, like say he was in +2 and the short stacks had folded, fine, open it up. It's perfectly reasonable. But you don't want to get the thing you don't want to see is a rejam.
Absolutely.
Middle stacks.
Andy W with a suited wheel ace, ace-5 of clubs, and the cutoff. This is definitely good enough for a raise. He's got one of those middling stacks. It's got to be careful with the old ICM considerations because you don't want to spaz out too much and put yourself in a uncomfortable position. But
wow,
you definitely.
Jason, man.
Jeez.
Says, okay, jacks, you know, they got the job done, but they weren't good enough. I want 2 red ladies. 2 red ladies.
And you kind of have to do the same thing if you. Well, he's got 700.
Yeah, he's got too big of a stack to reship.
But he does.
But he does indeed.
Guess he's trying to balance. I guess I don't know.
I think he's just purely trying to isolate here against Andy. Andy's stack is short enough that I think it does justify the jam. Because that's the best way to isolate. You definitely don't mind if you see, you don't love it, but you don't hate it if you get one more caller. And there it is. He shows. He says, "Good fold, sir."
I know we had a conversation about this earlier, but
yeah, very very close spot for Andy. Playing pre-tournament life, ace-5 suited, rough, hard to do. I do like the fold though.
Luke Meatloaf asks, "What's the first pay here? $14,089 up top." $55,800 in the prize pool.
Yeah, Gwen, I agree with you. Since we're short, it's a low jack range. Just off is an open, but not when there are short stacks behind you.
Yeah.
That is what solvers and big blind charts cannot account for. Is if there are short stacks behind you that are liable to rejam, there are better hands to do that with. Especially with a middle stack.
Andrew McDonough says asks why does the dealer need to wear the big headphones? The dealer literally communicates every action back to our action trackers here in the booth that input all of the action so that you can see in real time the accurate action. Like so-and-so bets 200, so-and-so raises 500,
yeah,
C7 folds, all that kind of stuff has to be still manually input, and then from those inputs the system can calculate.
So Zemo ships it in king nine offsuit, and Andy wakes up with the hooks now.
Jiggities for Andy W. Quick
Right,
call.
Jiggities.
Or quick
Rejam.
reship.
I think we're going to get an isolation here. Unfortunately, Zozimo drawing very thin. He's got outs. He does have outs. His cards are unsuited, though, and that does diminish. He does lose a little bit of equity with that. Not much, but a little bit. He's basically still drawing to exactly a king. It sucks, especially when Andy's got 2 jacks and holding 2 out of the 4 necessary straight card outs that you need. So
Zozimo's tournament life on the line with king 9 off. He needs a king badly. Looks like he might have gotten one.
Wow, he spiked it, but jacks are still live. Jacks are still so live here. Drawing to a 10 or a jack. How about a deuce? Not happening.
Dude, king 9, what a suck out.
What a suck out, man. That's
so
a
far.
3-outer and a queen. Going to 2 pair. Kings and queens with an ace. Going to take that down. Jacks going down in flames. Nothing for Andy to do there. Zozimo got it in.
That hurts.
Light, a little bit short, and he sucked out on you. And that is what happens.
Doing what you got to do as a short stack, for sure. Andy W., definitely don't fault him for rejamming with the jiggities.
Oh, not at all. Yeah, that was the only play he had.
So these are the kind of hands that make you bias in your mind, like where it feels like you're always getting sucked out on, like, oh, king 9's always getting there. But I promise you, king 9 isn't always getting there versus jacks. Like, you're happy to get it in there with king 9.
Yeah. Whenever you're sitting with, what, do you have 5 big blinds? So
yeah, I can't remember.
You got a card that doesn't have a number on it, so you may as well stick it in, right?
That's right.
And you're taking a bit of a hit there. King 6 not going to do it.
Still in it, though.
Still in it, though. That's the thing. It's not over until the fat lady sings, y'all.
The guys that don't lose their cool and can battle back are the ones that end up making a lot more money in these tournaments. Like, case in point, our guy Sturdy literally had, I don't know, 2 or 3 big blinds at one point at this final table and came back and chopped it
three
for
double ups, and he was chopping first place.
14,000 apiece, I think they chopped for.
Yep, almost 14 even. It was like 1496-ish, which is coincidentally almost exactly what the top prize for this tourney is. And Rick gonna open up king jack off center of the button. I like the open. Put some pressure on the blinds. Zozimo, queen 6-0, not gonna be good enough, I think, and does in fact let it go.
Rick taking down the blinds with king jack off on the button. Yeah, shout out to everybody that watched the stream last night, Friday, with the Next Gen boys. I'd encourage you to watch it after this final table conclusion. Fun stuff, fun hands to watch on our Friday night stream. That's going to be I think a recurring thing between Austin and Dallas. Adding more and more content because you people are insatiable. You just want more and more free live poker content voiced by the silkiest, smoothest commentators in the game, Ben K and Greg P.
Silkiest and the smoothiest. So smooth.
So smooth.
So smooth.
If you're, oh, that was nice. If you do appreciate the silkiest, smooths in live poker commentating, hit that like button for us for sure.
Always hit like. Always hit subscribe.
It's like legitimately adding to the customer base here live in Dallas, and definitely the subscribers for the channel. It's been awesome to see it grow. Like this, the room, we're confident has grown because of all the great engagement through the live stream. So thank you to everybody that's been engaged, that's been liking and sharing all the good stuff. All right, so we might get to see a flop with some action. 120K in the pot. 10-9 versus 8-7. Blind versus blind. Queen 3-3. Yikes. Both with stacks that are
very, very small.
Very small, but Andy W. looks like he wants it.
Yep. Does
sheepish 50,000 chip bet, but Zozimo is 10 high.
Just nothing, stone nothing. It's pretty hard to defend here, which is exactly why you should barrel on paired boards like this relatively often with just about all of your continuation range. Whenever it comes high card, low, low paired, yeah, that's it's pretty hard for anybody to wake up with anything, especially heads up. Hey, man, KB, smash the like. Do it now.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Do it now. 426 of you tuning in. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to set the like goal.
Please
I'm
do.
going to make it 175 tonight. That's
175?
175.
I like it for a tournament final table.
It's achievable.
It's achievable, but it's also, you know, a stretch goal. Let's get there. 175. We got 61 right now. Almost half 1,000 people watching. It's been a pretty lively final table stream so far, so I've got high hopes.
Eric C. going to wake up with King Jack once again, open it up. Two of the bigger stacks now. This is actually tough spot to be in. I think just a flat call's partnered with Ace-9 of diamonds. Definitely too strong to fold and a little too weak to raise to isolate. Andy, Queen Jack. Oh,
He's got his stack.
These spots are so rough. These spots are so rough because, like, I think the fold is the correct play the majority of the time there. Even sitting so short, it sucks whenever you see a premium like that and you're like, well, if it had folded to me, I would have been all in. And it's also terrible. It's gut wrenching if that is like the last premium you see at the final table, and you're like, well, maybe if I got in with that, you know,
yep,
I might have.
Dude, the tournaments will mess with your mind in terms of that results-oriented stuff.
Yeah, but he had 0 fold equity with his stack size, so I like the fold.
Uh-oh.
And Jason spiking top pair. However, Satish spiking top and bottom, bro. Eric stuck in the middle with a middle pair.
Something for everybody. Satish is running as pure as you can run, aces and nines.
This is what you love to see when you make a final table. Goes for a bet of 180, it looks like. I like the size. Pure, perfect half pot.
You can't just fold if you're Jason M. This is what's uncomfortable about.
No, it's rough.
Being out of position with a weak ace.
Yeah, it's rough. I probably
like you're just gonna get. Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's so hard to fold this pre-flop, but I think there is an argument for folding a pre-flop, only because you're going to be faced with this kind of decision a lot. The two big stacks. And there it is, the jam. Just jams over top of it. That's the problem, is whenever you're a middling stack here, you are you're forced to basically stack off with any top pair. So it's rough. Jason drawing basically
king
to a
or
chop.
King, yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was trying to say.
And no improvement on the
Satish.
river. Satish, man, he is just
doing work.
Cracking skulls.
Jason M is going to be eliminated in 6th place. How about this pace right now? 6th place for $2,762, and we're down to 5, just like that. Satish, table sheriff, and the rest of the players, I'm sure, are grateful, although this man has 3 million in chips, and we have 5.5 million total chips in play.
Yeah,
so
whenever he has 3/5 of the chips, it's kind of hard for. I mean, it's possible. Don't get me wrong; it's very possible, but it's hard for you to lose in those instances.
So, what do you do in this spot if you do have such a dominant chip lead? Do you
wait? You wait at least for a few more ladders, unless you pick up premiums. And like, there's not. I mean, there's a lot of incentive for you to bust out. For you especially to be the one to bust out smaller stacks. So if, say, someone has like 5 or 6 big blinds and they jam and it's up to, and you close action and you have something like ace-7 offsuit, it might be worth a call because someone with like 7 big blinds is going to be shipping it with, you know, king 10 suited, king jack offsuit. They're going to be shipping it in queen jack suited, things like that you still are, you know, ahead of. And it sucks when you double them up, though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's rough.
Well, it wasn't supposed to go that way.
Nick Wynn says, Greg, I actually disagree. I think ace-9 suited should be 3-hitting the chip leader and cause second chips to play pot OFP. What is OFP? I'm trying to find it.
Well, in the Marines, that stood for own effing program.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's on OFP.
No.
But let me see. Did he mean to write OOP, like out of position?
Know. Yeah, maybe OOP.
Ace-9 should be 3-betting being the chip leader, and because second in chips to play pot is.
Yeah, I would assume it was OOP, out of position. I mean, yeah, that's it's possible. And like I said, I'm not a huge tournament player.
Sure.
So my advice in here is going to be a little speculative. I grinded a lot of online tournaments and did some study with it, but admittedly rusty. And actually, I do agree with Nick's correction. No, you should punish those second and third stacks. That's actually exactly right, because those have the most IC and pressure on them. Is the middle stacks.
So we're fine.
We're all learning here.
We're all
ladies
learning,
and
and this stream has done a lot for my understanding of the game. Not from what I've contributed, but just like being inundated with hours and hours of getting to analyze this stuff.
Yeah.
I can tell it's helped me reframe
Ooh, here we go.
both cash and tourneys.
Eric C. trying to just take down the blinds here. I actually like this. I mean, 10-5 maybe a little ambitious, but but I do like the heart, and he does get the job done exactly how.
Got to win those chips however you can.
Oh, that's
Stay
right.
alive.
Nick Wynn was a Marine as well, so that's probably why he said OFP came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Semper
funny,
Fidelis,
I
Nick Quinn.
I forgot Nick was a Marine. I knew that. I swear. Guys, hopefully you got in your gambling points to see who wins the tournament. Unfortunately, the gamble is closed. Obviously, we're not going to let you gamble when there's 3 people left. That's a bit of an edge, I'd say.
Absolutely. It's great discussion in the chat, though. This is what it's supposed to be, I think, is
Yeah, I agree.
healthy discussion about
healthy.
strategy.
Healthy discussion.
It's a very key word,
You don't
of which
need
we
to,
do not usually.
crush my soul into dust whenever I misspeak on a
Greg,
live
you're the worst. I
commentary.
hate you.
Yeah.
Nobody ever just limps ace
Or
nine
they
suited.
say lol LMAO at your analysis because you're a goof and you're wrong. And you know what? I might be both of those things, but you don't have to be so mean about it, all right? That's all I got to say. Satish, king-queen offsuits, facing a raise from the small blind. I think you can go either way here. You can probably just flat call or ship it. Punish the middling stack. It sucks if you flat call here and the board comes ace, deuce, 4, no heart.
So he is just going to call.
Does call. I think that's going to be what we see more often. Nick Wynn says, Greg wins tournaments with 7s. Yeah, I sure do. Sure did.
So Rick is in an uncomfortable position, being out of
very
position with the chip leader
Very uncomfortable.
on this board now, too.
Yeah,
it's like you're like,
complete
well,
and utter whiff. Yeah, I don't think. Oh, but he is going to continue. And it's actually really close. This board is going to favor a big blind calling range a lot. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of. I feel like it's range neutral, honestly, between the blinds in this spot. And wow, we're seeing Satish, dude. Satish, bro, puts in the call with 2 overs.
and now, like,
Nothing
in these
but.
spots, you just pray. This is the one time they have absolutely nothing. They
Yeah.
insta-fold, but Rick is going to have to do something on this turn.
Oh, he's gonna. The only play he has left is to ship it. The only play he's got, but he does go for the $200,000 bet. Satish. This 6 shouldn't have changed almost anything though.
Yeah,
Like it brings in.
but now
It brings
Rick
in like 1 straight draw.
Satish can't imagine
That's
Rick
it.
has many folds with the stack size now. So, like, what are your options? Just rip it and go with your read, or what?
Yeah, facing
I
a double
genuinely
barrel.
don't know what to do in this situation.
I think what he really should have done pre-flop is put in the 3-bet with King Queen O. Probably should have just jammed it over top of Rick. And Rick actually getting the max there. A nice chip up for
That was a very
middle
key
stack.
pot for
Yeah,
Rick,
very
for
key
sure.
pot. Very key pot. Absolutely.
And I mean, shouts out to Rick for just having the stones to go out of position against the chip leader with a stone bluff. I mean,
double barrel stone bluff too,
Yeah.
man. That's the crazy part.
I think I go broke there somehow every single time. So shouts out to Rick.
That's a rough spot to be in, being Satish. I think if he just 3-bet pre, he probably would have taken it down.
But man, that is satisfying though to get a welcome chip up without having your whole stack at risk. Eric C with the 10-8 suited, 1.1 million in the cutoff. He could definitely do some damage to Satish, but he's also trying not to really tango with him if he can avoid it.
Yeah. T7 GT76 says, I miss AA Ron. Don't we all? But we're also at the same time, we're right here. All right?
Yeah, we are right here.
We're
I think
right
he's
here.
running it up north right now, I think. So good luck to him.
Oh, is he? I wouldn't know, honestly.
Yeah, he likes to play the tournaments. And he's I think he's got a couple circuit rings at least.
Oh,
Or at least
okay.
one. He has at least one main event circuit ring.
Yeah.
So shout out to A. Ron. I mean, that dude's very good at poker as well. 10-8 versus King 10. Equal chip stacks.
Even though Eric C is very deep here, I'm very surprised to see him open up 10-8 suited.
Rick with the combo draw.
Yeah, Rick can literally never fold his hand. And if he ever folds his hand, I'm going to be sad about it. Because you have a gutter to the nutter, you have all of the spades to the ultra nuts, and yeah, I like the flat call best here. Keeping your opponent's bluffs, 100%. Brick. About as brick as it gets for Mr. Rick. And a check, I think I like both of those options as well. 5, still brick.
Still got the best of it, though.
Still got the best.
Eric C needs to bet, and this is probably going to get through.
This is, yeah, and it's unfortunate whenever that happens.
Oh, he shows it.
Eric shows, he says, did I have, no, I had no pair. Shows the 10-8 of hearts. Got that one through against King High.
Gutter to the nutter. Maybe that should be your poker clothing brand.
Yeah. It's gutter to the nutter.
G2N.
G2N.
G2TN. I don't know. We can workshop it. The buy-in was $365. The first place prize is $14,000. These players are guaranteed fifth place money, which is $3,488. So what's the math on that? They've 10x'd their buy-in already?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jedi Master Ted says Aaron has 2 rings, 2 circuit rings. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're main event. Well, what I can do is look up his Hendon mob.
Levi said that's how many were in the tourney. We had like 186 entrants, is what you said?
186.
186.
Okay, so it wasn't a main, but he has 2. He took down 2 different rings in New Orleans.
Who, Aaron?
Yeah, 2 different $400 events.
Andy says, bro, let's get in there. Jack 9 of hearts, let's go. And Zozimo. He got a king in his hand, but apparently, I didn't even see that we'd already gone to the flop. Good lord. Yeah, Zozimo, nothing but a gutter ball. Not going to get it done. Andy going to take down an extra 40K here in a limp pot, so you'd love to see that. Nick, when you run terribly on the rolls, my man, you cannot pick up anything. Aloof Mila says, in the poker game of life, tourneys are the rake.
A lot of people would disagree. These tournaments bring like the crowds that show up for tournaments and tournaments only is.
Oh, they're so soft.
It's yeah.
They're like so pillowy soft.
Because people, people speculate, like they take shots more with tournaments, and so people are willing to put up that one big buy-in in hopes of running pure and taking down a huge score compared to showing up playing cash.
It is the dream of every person who has ever played poker to win a big tournament.
Right, and it's also like the standard by which we measure all poker players, even though
like Hendon Mob attracts tournament winnings. You know, even though there are prolific cash game players
that are probably much brainier. Well, I don't know. Like there's some brainy tournament players out there.
It's different. The thing is, it's a completely different way that you have to play poker.
Right.
And a lot of people don't recognize that. Wow, Andy here. Pocket threes. Facing a jam. It's
short
rough.
Stack jam, too.
Short stack jam, though, yeah. I would if I had pocket threes, I would rather be shoving than calling. But given that Zozimo is so short, it's not unreasonable. It's not like the most unreasonable thing. You still have chips if you lose, and you have an opportunity to bust. And I'm sure all the big stacks are eagerly awaiting to see the result of this hand. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Threes are still live, though.
Threes are still live.
Still
two
very,
outs.
very
We've
live.
seen it happen once already tonight.
Deuce.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. 1 pip up there, Mr. Ben.
Can he catch a 3 on the river?
No luck.
No luck. 9 of diamonds.
You heard it. 3. So Zemo going to get a pure double up there. Plus 340,000 the blinds plus his double up. So that's a great result for him. Unfortunate for Andy. He is now the shortest stack at the table.
It's one of those spots in tournaments where it's like, well, I mean, that was not a ton I could do. I guess you could just fold the threes, but that, I guess it's close. I don't know. So now, who was that with the threes? Andy W. is kind of crippled, or he's got a very short chip stack now.
Oh, yeah.
So Zemo's back in it.
Zemo's very much back in it. That double up, key moment for him.
Luckily for Andy W., he's on the button now, so at least gets a few hands before he's got to pay blinds. Is this for real? Jedi Master Ted says, Google Aaron McAvoy nuclear physics dissertation and read about his theories regarding magnetic fields and nuclear fusion.
I didn't know that he had a PhD in nuclear physics.
my
They said
gosh.
that in the chat yesterday, and I was like, is that a joke? But apparently he does.
That is so intimidating.
I'm sure he had to. Yeah, I'm sure he had to defend a thesis and everything.
Like, those were some of the guys you're playing with at the poker table, and I'm like such a dog to
It's
people
always
like that.
It's so funny to hear about the background. Wow, Andy all in with 9 ferocity. It's so funny to hear about all the background of people that don't pursue things that they did for college. Like, some people have PhDs. Like, a lot of the Simpsons writers have PhDs. Did you know that? Same with Futurama.
I did not.
Yeah,
no.
they all, like, a lot of them, notoriously. Futurama, I think, had more.
I know Conan wrote for The Simpsons for a while, and he went to
did.
Harvard.
He was one of the head writers in the early days.
That's Andy
Which
W.
is arguably why it was much better in the early days.
Yeah. Andy W. takes it down with the 9-4 off ball.
Nick Wynn says, gamble Greg's points. Buddy, if you can find some, I'm happy to let you gamble them. But I haven't accumulated any, even though I've watched the stream on my phone, every single stream.
I've got a few. Are you subscribed, Greg?
Of course I'm subscribed. Of course I'm subscribed. Maybe you have to have the alert bell. I doubt it. I don't think that's it. But yeah, Nick, buddy, if you can find some points for me, I'm happy to let you gamble with them.
I've got 8 TCH Live.
See, isn't that weird? I don't know why. We gotta figure that out.
Streamlabs is going to do what it does.
Streamlabs does what it do.
Zemo with Queen Jack off under the gun. He's got 600K behind. We're playing, I think, 20, 40, 40.
Yeah, full 3x here. I'd prefer a min click. I would much prefer
Achieve the same.
Yeah, exactly. You achieve the exact same roll with a much less bloated pot. So, Rick, ace-10 off. Rough spot.
Pez says it doesn't work on the phone.
Oh. Well, that would be why. I've only exclusively watched it on the phone. So, that would be why, but that still doesn't make sense why you don't have more points.
You should have a $2,000 MacBook that you watch YouTube on. Get the real value out of it.
Real value, yeah. Yeah, none of that video editing nonsense.
No, just watching videos.
Yeah.
All right.
Audio engineering, none of that.
So we're heads up here. Rick and Zemo C.
Classic battle, ace-10, queen jack with both players.
With 9-7, Rick. Ace high, still good. Checks over to Zemo.
Yeah, I like to check back. No reason. Complete and utter brick on the turn. Rick might even start to believe ace-10 high is good in some instances.
The most dry board.
Yeah, what can you really do? Like an 8.
And that snap is pretty satisfying.
Oh, Ben's got a good one.
Yeah,
there was another dealer that worked here, does not any longer, who had the snappiest of peels of any dealer I've ever met. And it was crazy because he didn't like put it out fast or hard or anything. It was just the way he did it, just like the best. The best. Miss you, Patrick. I don't know where you went, buddy, but.
And Rick is going to take it down with the best of it, ace high.
Yep.
People are asking about how do you get the points. You got to be subscribed to the channel, and you accumulate points by just watching the stream. Not a ton, but you do accumulate them from watching the stream, by interacting in the chat, and then also donating super chats is the best way to get points.
Yeah, that's how you'll accumulate them the fastest. You get like 4x points.
We had a nice run of them on Wednesday night when we were raising money for the charity in San Antonio, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Looking to do that again. And now the chat has derailed.
I love it. I
into adjective innuendos. Great.
I love the innuendos.
As Safish F with 8-6 off, blind versus blind, just then clicks it to 80.
He is just blind be blind. Nick Gwynn even said this in the chat. I agree. You gotta put on more pressure
Because they're priced.
Because they're priced in. So with like damn near 82 cards, the only thing is Zozimo here has two of the only cards that can't call.
Revenge range only
yeah,
cards.
Exactly. Revenge range only.
And Safish going to continue running over this table.
Over it.
Go ahead and take them up. You tell them in the headset as well.
Eddie Singh says, y'all get paid for commentating. We do get compensated a little bit. We don't do this for free. You know, we, as much as we'd like to be able to do this out of the goodness of our hearts, we cannot. And luckily our bosses recognize that idea. Loof Meatloaf says $5.12. Chat, super chats are for suckers. Couldn't agree. I was going to say couldn't agree more.
That's,
but no,
it's very meta.
Yeah, very meta. I appreciate that, Mr. Meatloaf. And of course, super chats are not for suckers. Super chats are for very generous people that like to show their appreciation for TCH Live and all the work that myself and Mr. Benjamin Kirby do, as well as all of the production team here.
Absolutely.
So you love to see it. Love to see those. Thank you.
Shout out to Andrew McDonough for subscribing. Thanks to everybody that subscribed tonight. We're almost at 28,000 subscribers, which is a pretty fun number.
Which is awesome, man. When we started the stream, we had like, I remember the number being 17.6.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
And now we just
scaring 30.
Nearly, 50%, 1.5xing our subscribes here. So Zemo limped in here, ace or 8-4. I think even in a blind battle, this hand is too weak to continue. But all that being said, all that being said, he donks on an ace high board. Is going to get the fold from Andy W. with 7-3 of clubs.
Nicholas Stein says aloof meta loaf. There it is.
Aloof.
There we go. Bring on more puns. I like it.
Love it.
99 likes. We're headed our way to 175. Shout out to JT in 1968. He says, my MacBook was only $1,200. Thank you very much. Yeah, $1,200 YouTube watcher. Look, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. No, I have a $1,800 desktop PC. So
yeah, which probably is worth it.
And that thing is an absolute monster. I love it. It can run Cyberpunk 2077 on Max with zero problems.
That's dope. Because that game crashes everything.
Yeah. So, yeah. Subtle flex there.
Subtle, but not so.
Satish, pocket ducks. I'd probably just fold the deuces here. And he agrees. I like the fold.
Nice.
There's not like a ton of value in set mining at a final table. There are like some instances where it's pertinent. Like if 3 of the big stacks, like somebody opens and you're getting the big blind, you're getting a decent price with it. It's fine. It's fine. But you're just going to be faced with so many tough decisions later if you don't nut up immediately.
Yeah.
On the flop, that it's worth just letting them go. Wow, JT in 1968, $10 super chat using my overtime money wisely, paying for milk and cookies for Penny Greg again.
Thank you, JT in
buddy.
1968.
Love it. I'm getting fat over here. You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
But don't.
Nick Witt says, "Sorry guys, I'm done coaching in the chat." Don't you
for
lie
free?
To me. Don't you lie to me, sir. Don't you dare. Freaking Elvis says Microsoft Flight Simulator is way tougher. I've not actually gotten to play that game yet.
I haven't played it in years.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Zozima shipping at Kington offsuit. It's going to take the aggressive route. And Rick picking up ace queen off. Oh, he has to call here. Oh, he has to call here. If he folds, I'm sad. If he folds, I'm going to be very sad. No. Why? Why did you fold, Rick? Or did he call? Or did we did see a call. Oh my God! I was about to say no. Like why?
Deuce 7. Zozimo dead to a king or a 10 for his tournament life.
Yep. No help on the flop.
Jack on the turn. 1.1 million chip pot.
There it is.
9 of diamonds on the river.
Rick Zozimo, unfortunately, going home though. quite a nice run, laddered up a few spots, and for a day of tournament player, not the worst results.
5th place finish for Zozimo, 3,488. And then there were 4 that were guaranteed $4,604. Speaking of $4, Cameron Wilson with a $4.99 super chat. In reference to 28,000 subscribers, lest we forget the Falcons were up 28-3. Hey, don't bring that mojo here.
Well,
They blew a
they lose?
28-3 lead.
Yeah,
for the Super Bowl
I assume that's why he
a
would
couple
be
years
saying that.
ago.
But yeah, that's pretty abysmal. Abysmal. Sounded like there was already discussion of a chop going on, though I can't imagine there would be with Andy with such a short stack. Ace King of Diamonds, about as good as it will get. Mr. Andy W. Rick Jack 8 off.
Shout out to some of our new subs that
Two of them in here that we didn't get to. It's Richie Garza and Clark Daly. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for the subs.
As always. And wow, Satish, think he's like, give me a count, dealer, when I have 4 high. It was, I mean, he's actually not doing that bad. 65-35, not terrible, man. It's like not the worst.
Yeah, we're going to be so morbid about it.
Four-handed, the money is pretty serious now.
All right.
$4,604 guaranteed right now, and the next place up pays $5,747.
It's a pretty good ladder.
Absolutely, Eric C. looking down at 3-4 at diamonds.
I love Satish's like demeanor and smile. Like he's all smiles right now, which I would be too.
I would
in his
be
position.
too. Yeah.
He's basically got a lock on this tournament. I mean, it would be. I think Rick is really the only one that can even remotely do damage to him. 2.5 million chips. Having half the chips in play is pretty good result for having not won it yet. Andy W. Queen 4 offsuits. I think if I was Satish, I would have just shipped it here over top of him. Like, show up with something or get out of my pod and give me the blinds.
Right.
Same results either way. Nitpicking a little bit there, but he got the job done.
I had one. You had the best game. I think I'm still supposed to take that. This is high. So, what level did you get in the
There's the payouts for you if you missed my call earlier. $4,604.
They take out now.
Yeah, I think they're talking business right now.
I mean, the everything too.
Rick 8-4 offsuit. Not going to do it, I would imagine. Set these Jack 8 off. Just a little too close to the bottom of your range, or I mean, it's below the bottom of your range. And here we go, Andy, ship it all in, 7-6 offsuit. I like the heart in the blind battle. Pretty hard to justify folding. You don't want to just flat call, see a flop, and then whiff.
Right.
I like putting it all in and then seeing all 5 cards if you do get called. Johnny says, deep side, Greg. Did I side? Did I let one go?
Yeah,
you did. I might have. All right. It's been a long day. I've been grinding all day. I went to the gym this morning.
Oh,
why I
nice.
did that, I don't know.
The body appreciates it, man. You got those endorphins
does it?
going.
Because it tells me it doesn't every time I go. So
it's the payoff afterwards.
yeah, it's the. I will say these. I haven't worn these pants in a couple of months since it's been so hot here, but they fit better.
Oh, that's a huge win.
It's a huge win whenever the button is not screaming for help, trying to hold the pants together.
Right.
So
I know the feeling very well.
yeah, it's nice seeing a little bit of some results from the work I've been putting in over the past 2 months. I've definitely lost like 10-ish pounds, 10 plus pounds.
Blind versus blind between Eric and Rick. Jack 10-5. Eric C with
The best of it.
the absolute best of it. Top pair with an 8, 150 from Eric. Rick
Rick doesn't have the worst hand to float with once, but I definitely don't mind. I mean, you're not deep enough to justify floating for backdoors, so I think the fold is definitely the most standard option there.
Yeah. Especially with such a short stack in, keep forgetting his name, seat 1.
Stephen McIntyre says, he's calling us out, man. Commentators don't lie and say that you actually wear pants in the booth or shorts. Yeah.
Look, they need our voices. Yeah, that's all they need.
They don't need us, decked out in a suit, all right? I can show up in my underwear. It's okay. It's not really okay.
I've had to send Greg home multiple times for outfit violations.
There are a lot of people you have to walk past to get to the booth, all right? So that
we've got our own internal accountability from about 20 tables of judgy poker players.
Judgy poker players. If they're anything like the no.
Yeah.
Yeah, people asking about how we can see the cards. Yeah, these are what's called RFID cards. They basically have like a chip in them that's a reader that you can see the faint outline of all those little squares in front of each player. The players have to put the cards over those card readers, and then each one is embedded with a specific code unique to each card that is then relayed to the action tracker. Mr. Alex back here in the booth, or is it we got in the booth today, John? And he puts in all that information for us so that you guys can see it, and so can we.
Ace King for Rick on the button. He's got 1.5 million. He's done a good job of chipping up from his starting position at this final table.
Certainly so.
A lot of uncontested pots that he's taken down. He's got a real hand.
Oh, he makes a big raise.
This could be a huge pot.
Well, this could be a huge pot.
Well, we're not at all. Sorry, I was trying
to. It could have been, man. It could have been.
It's interesting that Satish didn't even think about it, but I guess you want Andy. Everybody's playing to get Andy out.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Respectfully,
I think that is exactly what they're all waiting for. And ace 10 off, like you either, I mean, facing a button open, like you could maybe 3-bet conceivably, especially against the deeper stacks. But
that's what I was thinking. But just like Andy in seat 1 has just got such a short stack.
Yeah, it's not justifiable to try and start mixing it up yet. Heads up, sure, why not? Go for it. Or even three left, go for it. But we have one very, very short stack that they're all eagerly waiting for somebody to bust. Somebody to bust them out.
This is when the nerves maybe start to creep in a bit, when you're like, start to feel the anxiety. I was like, dude, I do not want to be, I want to win this thing. I don't want to bust out. I also don't want to be seen spewing on the live stream in front of 600 people and thousands later.
Oh, man, here we go. Satish, ace 4 of hearts on the button, makes a very natural open. And we see a straight ship from Eric. You see that? I love the, just the shrug.
Ready to go home.
Shrug. I'm ready to go home. I've just, cut the
that
nuts.
Alone might allow Satish to get away from it because it's a pretty common tell.
I like the fold. And, yeah, it's, whenever I think that Eric was like just deep enough that you could probably min-click it. You could probably min-click it, and you're still super happy seeing a flop literally 80% of the time heads up against any 2 cards.
Yep.
So you're probably going to get an in, especially if for whatever reason you spike an ace. If your opponent wakes up with one, like your opponent's happy to stack off with top pair, decent kicker. Or I mean, Satish didn't have a decent kicker, but in the instances that I'm talking about. Aces are going to hold up more often than not, so seeing a flop post is not a bad thing at all. And nobody folds to a min-raise, just so y'all know. Nobody folds ever to a min-raise, ever. Literally ever.
The beauty of limit poker, baby.
They could have ace high on the river and we're bluffing into you. You min-click it, most people are still going to call you down because so when you fold to a min-raise, it's like, well, I just feel like a goof for folding. Like my opponent is giving me the best possible odds he could give me ever, and I'm folding. So.
And any W's all in with the king under the gun.
Well, we're seeing it. Yeah, once you get this short, it's pretty reasonable. This short with this short-handed, basically any face card, you got to let it go. I'm actually really surprised we saw Rick fold there. Rick's definitely deep enough to potentially reship over to isolate Andy, but it's close. Sethish, once again, thinking about it with 4 high.
So brutal because he's happy to try to take him out, but 4 high is, like I said.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to justify calling with that, no matter how deep stacked you are. It's like you're talking about the far right corner of the solver charts. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's like what can you do with those hands? Not much. Not much. Here we go, Eric C. Ooh. Still waking up with the primos, bro. Coming in with the queens. There's a lot of theory that if you're this short-handed that it's pertinent to actually start limping some of these these big pocket pairs. That way you're guaranteed to see a flop.
Interesting.
But he does put a huge, gigantic raise, man. What are the blinds right now? Are they still 40K?
I think we're 25-50 now.
25-50 now? Okay. But like so big. That's like 4.5x, man. That's huge. Unless we got some technical
pause
difficulties here, as does happen.
Like I said, our dealer here literally communicates every action back here to the booth so that we can have an accurate
surprise
flow of action. And Eric C is going to take this one down with the QQ.
I mean, Eric did take an incredibly strong line there by opening 4x, even with 4 players left. So I'm not surprised to see Andy fold ace-3 there, though. Typically, with that many big blinds, you're kind of happy to get it in with any ace in your hand. So suited or not, connected or not.
Dude, shout out to Andy for still staying alive. He's got 130,000 behind. If he gets one more ladder, I'll be very, very impressed because that'll be a testament.
If he gets one more ladder, that would be unfortunate for somebody.
Yeah.
For someone. Someone's not going to like the result. All right, I have 4 bars in here. How is my phone wigging out on me?
Rick with the ace-jack. He's got 1.6 million. I think he might be second in chips. It's either him or Eric. Raises it to 150, and Sethish with ace-king on the button. Man. Open rips it.
Wow, just straight ships it, bro. Rick, rough spot. Definitely a fold, though. 100% a fold.
Especially with Andy in seat 1. Andy's just praying that Rick calls here.
Yeah. Oh, Andy is begging Rick to call here. But, yeah, easy fold, I think. Sethish probably could have just put in like a min click or just over a min click. Would have gotten a call, maybe spike an ace, and stack him.
I guess he's just really trying not to tango with the other middling stacks to maintain his chip lead. I don't know.
I mean, there's definitely some merit to that, for sure. You want to apply the most pressure to the middle stacks because that is where the most pressure is. They have all the incentive to start folding lighter, opening tighter, folding stronger, and opening stronger as well. So
we've only played 41 hands and we've lost 5 players already. We're down to 4. We started with 186.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it. We lost 5 players in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah,
which is pretty quick for a tournament final table. A tournament final table.
A tournament table.
Yeah, something like that.
Eric C just calls Jack 6 suited, blind versus blind, and Rick checks back with.
That's reasonable. Jack 6 suited.
7-8-8.
Utter whiff for Rick. Check. Snap. Check. Oh, so telling.
Very telling indeed.
Very, very telling. Wow. How about an 8?
I'll check.
7 on the end. It's going to chop if it gets to showdown because there's a boat on the board.
Addy thinks people never heard of 3-betting 3x here in a cash game.
He's going to muck. Standard. Dude, he almost gave up that freaking chop.
Almost, man. So close.
Dude, that oh, man. That would have been a clip.
Oh, would have been a clip. The craziest thing I ever saw as a dealer thus far at a table was there was a 3-way all-in on the flop. The board ran out straight, so there was a straight on board. One player had a set, one player had an overpair, and the other had a top pair with a redraw.
Uh-huh.
And he turned. I was sitting in the box, and there was a straight on board. It was like a 12K pot between 3 people. And he turned one card face up and left the other one face down. And I was kind of sitting there like, yep, I'm going to give you about 5 seconds. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to realize your mistake. And if not, your cards are in the muck, and they get to chop up your 5K, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane.
Did he end up flipping it?
He did, but I think only, like, he was like, he straight up, like, started to walk away from the table. And if he had made it, like, another 2 steps, his hand would have been
dead.
Oh, it would have been dead.
Oh,
and he like started to walk away, turned around, had one card face up to show that he was like drawing to the redraw or something, and then finally turned over the second card, and I was like, "Yep, there we go, all right." And we're chopping 3 ways, which is the worst way to chop anything.
That's right.
For a dealer.
King, queen, 7, 2 clubs. Rick with the best of it with bottom pair.
In the lead by a mile. Hard to make a pair in this game.
Absolutely. He's not scared of Satish. Like, he's willing to bet into the chip leader.
Betting into the man. Satish probably has like the one hand he could probably float once with. Like the single hand other than like Jack 10 of spades.
Satish going to fold. So Rick actually kind of leveraging his opponent on the left position, saying he can tell that Satish is trying to sit on it maybe a bit, and he's chipping up in these spots that Satish doesn't want to play back.
Yeah, just pro tip for everybody in the chat, table your cards.
Especially if you're playing more than 2 cards.
Yeah, table your hand. It doesn't matter the situation. Don't get wrapped up in, oh, they're going to see my hand and see I bluffed, whatever. If it's close and the board is scary in the sense like there's a boat on board something, table your hand. Because if you muck your cards, and you typically, especially at the higher stakes, I snap put them in the mug. Like,
wow.
Yeah, like I don't wait. I mean, one, as a dealer, you're not supposed to say anything, because then the players are going to get mad at you, because it is absolutely the responsibility. Oh wow, here we go, all in. It's the responsibility of the players at the table to understand the situation. Like, you nanny the game, but you don't nanny the players.
That's right. So Satish ships any 2 cards here. Salt in the small blind, and Andy W is in there with
we are
6
pure
high.
flip and queen spiking it. 6-4 drawing to runner spades. Does not come. No help. 6-4 that is drawing dead. And Satish going to take down Mr. Andy.
Andy W
in 4th place.
Out in 4th, $4,604. Great showing, and we're down to $3,000 and $5,747 guaranteed between these 3 gentlemen. Second place pays $9,068, dude. Almost a stack of high society. And first being that cool $14,089.
Yeah, this is typically where people start to start. They start to begin to start talking, maybe potentially starting about
words are hard.
About chopping. Surprised
the money's serious here.
We haven't heard those words just yet, but everybody's stacks are close enough, and I'm
23,
surprised we're
28.
not all willing to play for it.
About $29,000 left remaining in the prize pool between these 3. Right? 23 plus 8. Yeah.
It's 14 plus 9 plus 5. So 28.
Even chop, they get a little over 9,000, which is basically second place money.
Yeah.
Oh, kings and 3s for Satish.
Wow.
Eric
How do you
nothing,
just run this good? Yeah, I like the check, honestly. It's like you lock up so much of the board, and then he gets the redraw to the basically the nuts. Yeah, Eric just in there with the 9-4, not going to get it done. Satish taking one more look like, I flopped 2 pair and turned the second out flush draw. That's running good if I've ever seen it at a final table. Johnny Mr. Tits, as I was watching PLO being played at Alamo Card House, and this guy had the nut straight winning hand and mucked it because he didn't hit his flush. He was drawing 2 of the other 2 cards. Yeah. Table your hand, folks. Table your hands, players.
I admittedly have done that playing Omaha 8.
Multi-card? Yeah. Folded the best hand.
Especially when you're playing for like 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
And you look at your hand and it's like, you just can't process everything.
Are we pulling out the IDs and the players' cards? Are they talking about doing a chop?
No, they usually do this. when it gets down to this level, I think.
Oh, do they?
Just to get the business squared away.
Get them to get it done.
Or maybe because there's additional paperwork. I don't know.
Potentially.
I'm just talking about the cards, the chips and cards.
Chips in the cards.
6, 7, ace, 2 diamonds. Eric C with a massive draw.
Huge draw here, dude. Wow.
Combo draw, open-ended straight draw, and an 8 high diamond draw. And Rick has got backdoor nut diamonds.
Mike Warlaby says, I don't know. I think giving you necessary info is worse than missing a third of the pot one time. I absolutely disagree with that. You can give a little bit of info that nobody's going to remember.
You're giving your opponents a little too much credit for being able to interpret that and remember it.
Them players seeing one hand you played is such a minuscule amount of information that it's absolutely worth any dollar amount that you gain by then showing your hand. So I see why you say that, because obviously giving away information in an imperfect information game is something you want to avoid at all costs. But whenever it costs you money, you absolutely got to give that information. It literally is like dollar per point of information amount. Almost always worth it. Almost. Like very few instances. Like if you're in the blinds and maybe there's $15 in the pot, yeah, fine, whatever. You can muck your hand on the end with some slim chance of you winning, but I would say it's absolutely always worth it. Eugene Green says, if you can't read your hand, you probably shouldn't be playing. That is also true. But
also we encourage, if you can't read your hand,
and then
continue playing.
You should absolutely continue. Come sit in my table, buddy. But yeah, I understand that sentiment, but at the same time, whenever you've been on a 12-hour grind and you're playing PLO, cards blend, all right?
Yes, they do.
The colors start to waver, and your brain does things that you don't expect. So, it's just that's obviously an argument for maybe not sitting at the table at that time, but just table your hand if you're ever in that situation. Just table your hand. Seth Each taking this one down, opening up over the blinds.
Three-handed so far. No more discussion of any financial dealings. So these guys might be playing to win. I don't blame them.
Oh, yeah,
the pride of winning a TCH 365 Unlimited Re-Entry tournament is about as high of a poker accomplishment
as it gets around here. Yeah,
that's right.
Eddie Singh makes a good point. I show my hands to give a little information so that I can exploit them later for it. Yeah, sometimes giving a little to win a lot later is absolutely part of some meta long-term strategy.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to be playing with thinking players that you can mess with their brains. And Rick has got just big slick.
Oh wow, he's got basically the nuts. Basically the nuts in a final tourney table scenario. If someone wakes up with something better than Ace King suited, you just have to say nice hand and go home. I actually, with Ace King suited there with such a nutted hand pre-flop, like a min-click probably in order, not a huge raise, or even a check back. Like you're actually supposed to check back aces in the big blind a lot. Because as I've said, you're ahead 80% of the time, if not more, most of the time, and you'd rather your opponent smash top pair on the flop while you're holding aces than not. And maybe it sounded like there was some small deliberation of a chop.
About taxes.
Oh, was that what he was talking about?
Okay. Our friends at the IRS.
Friends. Funny word choice.
Eric C. King 9 of diamonds on the button. He's considering what to do.
Some people talking about some vloggers taking shots at the bracelets. Apparently Johnny Vibe's still in the mix. Ram punt ran into the Rockets, punted into it in full Rampage style.
Playing which event?
I don't know.
Oh,
something that's happening today.
Dude, he has high highs and low lows.
High highs and low lows is very accurate for Mr. Rampage, I would say. Where did we go? I love that. I love that as a dealer. Whenever you don't get the pot squared away and everybody's already mucked their cards, it's like, wait a minute, who won? So you guys are, you're going to be honest, right?
playing 25, 50, 50, hand number 50. Wow, make a wish. As Rick has got ace-6 off on the button. 1.5 million behind. He's got the chip leader to his left.
You said make a wish. Get out of the booth. Get out. Hang it up.
I've thought about it many times after dealing with this chat.
Yeah, you guys are mean sometimes, all right? Satish limping in with the 10-5, and I actually like Eric's decision to put in the raise here.
Rick open folded ace-6 off on the button, which was interesting to me.
That is interesting. Three-handed, that's definitely good enough for a raise. I didn't even
But
really
I think he had a soul read
that
that Eric C had ace-8
he had
suited,
ace
so
8
he
that
was
he was
dominating.
willing to get it in with, yeah.
WSOP number 24. He was in for 2 bullets, out in the money, but no profit.
You love grinding, hard grinding a tournament just to break even.
Woof.
Woof, exactly.
It's like the only position that you really feel satisfied in is actually winning. I mean, even with second, it's like, God.
So I could have won.
Yeah.
I made it that far,
It's
only
such a
to come
sicko
up
thing.
short. Yeah, it's a sicko thing, all right.
The guys that can turn around immediately and play another tournament really well are really
there's-
impressive to me because, like, for me, I got to deal with my
so
thoughts
impressive.
after
Yeah.
just thinking of all the what ifs.
Satish raising it up 2
Okay.
Oh, Eric calls with the king-queen offsuits. I think this is fine. Facing a button. Now you could 3-bet sometimes. They're deep enough, but no reason necessarily to put more money in. And if you face a rejam, you're just sick to your stomach. So, queen on the flop, dealer one time. Queen on the flop, make it happen. Boom.
King
Does not.
5-6.
Wow,
All
Satish with
diamonds.
the nut draw. Just he has the world on this flop. Eric C checks, and I like his decision to go ahead and put in the c-bet here. Looks like roughly half pot, 250. Eric C, no diamonds, only drawing to 2 black kings. Definitely a rough spot. I think this is a spot where if you say, you know, if your opponent is bluffing, you say good bluff, and you just fold your hand. And Satish did end up there with ace-queen completely
He does
dominated.
show the ace of diamonds. Trying to say, hey, I'm not stealing here. 122 likes. We're trying to get to 175 tonight. Can we do it? There's only 3 players remaining. It could end at any point. Do us a favor. There's 661 of you watching. Hit that like button for us if you're enjoying this final table stream. I think you are. I can assume you are if you're still watching. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for spending some time with Ben and Greg this weekend. Hope you had a good Saturday and headed into another chill Sunday, whatever that may entail. You know, Sunday fun day, however that manifests itself. Hope y'all are having a great weekend, and hopefully that includes hitting that like button for us.
Absolutely. A lot of talk in the chat about Rampage's play. What have you watched a lot of Ethan's
I did.
stuff?
I did during the pandemic because it was like
all
the only
it was
game
the
in
only
town,
one, yeah.
which was pretty
Same,
entertaining.
Same.
But yes, it was entertaining. I watched up until I think he won a bracelet, like an online bracelet, and then
did.
I think I had less and less time to watch poker vlogs.
After the child, yeah.
After the child,
sure.
as expected. But, you know, even if people disagree with any of the vloggers' play, you have to give them credit for the amount of extra work that they do on the front end.
And on top of that, just like putting themselves out there, exposing themselves.
Yeah, and like you just sign yourself up potentially to get eviscerated, which you often do because everybody's an armchair quarterback.
Everybody's a professional in the chat.
And now, granted, if you can get the amount of subs to a certain number, it does pay off for you to do. But you have to put all that work on the front end with no guarantee that you're going to make a single dollar from vlogging. And some guys do it just for fun. And I mean, we talked to Brad and Andrew, and they said it takes like 12 to 15 hours.
It's an hour per minute is what
hour
they said.
per minute per vlog, and so like that's real labor while on top of playing poker. So I respect any of these guys that are willing to basically entertain others potentially at the expense of their poker game.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to be honest about it. Like if it turns into just like reel of you flopping sets. That gets
Yeah,
pretty
I know,
old
right?
after a
That
while.
gets old. It's just like, oh, come on, you don't run this.
The
guy all
guys
the time,
that are
buddy.
the guys that are honest about it,
Yeah,
like
where they're
Lexo
like,
does a pretty
oh,
good
this
job.
was a terrible play I made, or this is where I just got coolered, or
Yeah.
this session I'm down 10K or whatever.
And I think
Wow.
Rampage is.
Oh
go ahead,
my
go
God!
ahead.
Real quick, Satish. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to Rampage in a minute. We got kings for our man Satish on the button, on the bootin. Best feeling in poker, other than having aces on the button. Puts in the raise. Very standard. 150 total. And wow, ooh, Rick. Rick here, very much playable king queen offsuit. Wouldn't even be like, it wouldn't be the craziest thing I've ever seen to go for the straight rejam, but I think the flat call is definitely the most pertinent.
Rut-row.
Rut-row indeed. How about a queen on the flop one time, dealer?
So these two gentlemen have kind of stayed out of each other's way. Rick has kind of been stealing in a few spots against Satish. 9-high board.
Wow, what about as good of a board as you could ever want.
It's almost
for
like a
pocket
check
kings.
back board sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could definitely incorporate some check backs here.
Because
That would
even
not
any
be
card on the
unreasonable.
turn other than an ace,
Is good, and even then, if you're, if you check back and your opponent spiked a 3-outer,
so be it.
like, are you folding? Are you folding if they jam? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Did want to address something real quick in the chat. Who was it that said it? Michael Guadalupe says, "Great stream, guys. We actually get people walking in and checking us out because of you. Keep this up." Thank you, sir, and we shall do just that. Oh, ooh, and we see Rick float king queen offsuit, and
Can he?
as we were
Oh,
talking,
can he structure it right now, bro?
Bro, no way. Are we seeing Rick donk on this ace? Dude, is that what we're seeing right now?
And so Rick is trying
Oh,
to.
dude. Oh, and Satish, dude, not zero hesitation. Like,
But Rick is
barely
going to have
even thought
to
about it.
double barrel here to try to get
Oh.
something going.
You're going to have to, he's basically going to have to ship it in. He's got a pot-sized bet left.
If he
Does. Check it over. Check, check. Shows the king. Satish going to chip up just that much further, man. You
was
see the relief. He's like,
genuinely
oh
relieved.
my God, he didn't hit the ace. Wow.
But yeah, so what I was saying was Rampage, I think, has come a long way in terms of showing his losses. I mean, he's had some pretty public, large losses now.
He sure has.
So it's
I
cool
mean,
to see people being real about the realities of poker, but
I will say there. People call him Ram Punt sometimes, and as much as I like Ethan, and there are definitely times when I think he makes some solid plays. There have been a few times where he's straight punted. Like there's like no argument for it. It's like that was like never the play, and then he made it and said 3K all in.
yeah, and that's you kind of sign up for that when you do a poker vlog. And the trade-off again is like if you get the amount of subs where you start making money off of ads and all that kind of stuff, merch, it works out. And, you just got to be able to compartmentalize people eviscerating your play sometimes.
Yeah, Eddie Singh says Rampage comment section is the worst. Everyone becomes Phil Ivey in his comments. Yes, hey, same.
Is
all right?
is that TCH Addy that plays
No, I
up
don't
here?
think so.
Okay.
It might be. If it is, let us know. But I don't think it is.
Okay.
But
Calls himself
everybody
Ram Punt
becomes,
now.
Everybody becomes Phil Ivey. I love that. That's so true. Yeah, I mean, if you're getting the, non-self-designated moniker of Ram Punt, you may as well just own it, man.
That's right. That's the only
what
way
are you
to
gonna
own
do?
it.
Deny it, and then
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, "Oh, remember when you,
Yeah.
Ram punted off 3K?"
If you're going to be a public figure like that, you kind of got to be secure in your shortcomings and just own it, because then nobody can, you don't want to be insecure about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You want to just own it.
Rezo8 says Rampage got crushed in Texas. Yeah, whenever he was here, he played a little bit down in Austin. I saw he did. He did get crushed here in Texas.
But also, all of us get crushed from time to time.
From time to time, and if we're all going to pretend that we don't, you're lying.
And then you're playing chess or something.
Yeah. Freaking Elvis says, I'm sure his YouTube money pays his bullets. That's, possible.
And,
Sure, why not? And you know what? Power to him.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you can't argue if he's making money in his sleep from YouTube.
Yeah,
that's a win.
That's a win in life. And, wow, we're seeing some good poker here. Eric C. going to continue on this board. Jack 7, Stone Air, nothing. And Satish looking him up light with a 4. Does not improve for Jack 7. Satish still maintaining the best hand. Satish says, can I see your stack, sir? I thought we were about to see him jamming in. And Eric going to continue running a bluff here. 200K on the turn. So Seth Thiesch, wake up with a 9 or better or get out of my pot, buddy. Clark Daly says, Ethan has the balls to publish his mega punts. Some of the other vloggers do not. Yeah, we were talking about that. It's just like you got to, subject yourself to the evisceration that inevitably comes from putting yourself out there for YouTube chat. YouTube and Twitch and any of those other platforms that they stream to.
And I think that's the only way to do it is be transparent about it because people can see through the flex vlogs where it's just like, so I flop top set and I flop top set
and I got, paid in 3 spots when 3 people shipped it in with
gets
bottom
old
set.
real quick.
Yeah, it gets old real quick.
But, I mean, it's entertaining, and that's the purpose.
That
it's
is
not
definitely
a training
the purpose.
video.
Yeah, he's not running, he's not
I only watch
advertising
those.
on Solve for Why, man.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's like very much entertainment, and he clearly has an audience, and people keep coming back. And so everybody can rail on his performance maybe, but he continues to grow.
What? He continues to put out the content, so I love him for that.
Yeah, and it's good for the game.
He filled the very necessary void that existed whenever during COVID and all that, when Owen and Nimi weren't posting much. Like I think he very correctly assessed the situation and injected himself into the poker world hard. I mean, he was already kind of there, but like he was just like, you know what? There's no vlogs being put out. Nobody's playing live poker except for me. So I'm going to go out and put out a billion videos. And he does. He puts out a video like 2 times a week.
Yeah, that's
which is
impressive.
a lot of work, man. Like that is some commitment.
I even saw Johnny Vibes comment on his video like today or yesterday, giving him props for being able to just straight up film walking through a busy card room and not feel insecure about it. Like he said, Johnny Vibes said that he can't even bring himself to do it because you do have to just literally be walking through a bunch of people with a camera pointing at your face that you're holding.
Yeah.
Not everybody are bold enough to do that.
I couldn't do that, man.
No
like
way.
I could do some like off location analysis and like editing and yada yada and like maybe some like while I'm at home by myself and I could take 800 takes.
Yep. But not when there's
thing.
300 people in a room as Rick shoves A6 off in the small
off. Oh man, I must have missed something because Rick is down a lot more than he was.
He tried to run that bluff with the Kings versus Satish, and I think that was pretty expensive.
Right. Yeah, that was expensive.
I mean, we'd love to get Rampage on one of the TCH streams.
I would
up
seriously, not only that, but I want to meet him. I want to meet the guy. He just, like, he seems nice. If
like
nothing else, he seems like a nice, chill dude that recognizes his position, gets to play poker for a living, and is just happy
And he has a
about it.
bracelet, too.
And he's got a bracelet, bro. How many of the chat bros can say that, all right?
If you do have a bracelet, I would love to know.
I would love to know. User Anonymous says, Brad Owen's in my top 2 poker vlogs. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably agree with you.
Brad Owen's been crushing
between Nimi and Owen, those are probably the 1 and the 2. I've always... Owen, I think, has the largest followership now of all of them, if I understand.
Because he stayed more consistent.
He did a little bit, and also Brad Owen doesn't do any PLO nonsense that Nimi likes to do every now and then, which is fine, to some. But
not to JD. When JD was in the booth, he was adamant about how terrible PLO was. PLO and tournaments.
I do remember that.
I don't know if JD's listening.
Yeah,
but he might be out
Shout
there.
out to, no, he's actually out there playing. They're playing 10-25-50 right now. On the floor, on the main floor of TCH in Dallas. If you guys didn't,
I'm gonna go hop in on that after
action
this.
here. Yeah, you're gonna hop in. 10K.
I need to find a payday loans.
I was walking
somewhere.
past JD as I hopped in the booth, and he was like, "Yeah, let me grab another 5,000," and he already had 10 in front of him, and I was just like, "Good God, man!" I like Eric C's raise here with the pre-flop nuts. When he got the nuts pre-flop, pocket sevens, the best hand in the deck.
It is the nuts.
You got to start pumping up a pot. But real talk, with a pair pre-flop, you're way ahead the vast majority of the time in a 3-way pot. If you're not, it's straight up a cooler. And he does, in fact, take it down right here.
C-Man 500 says Ryan DePaulo. Yeah, Ryan DePaulo is
Let's get
probably
him in.
my favorite right now just because he's so out of left field. and also has got game. Like, he also has a bracelet,
Yeah.
and it's just so does not care what anybody else thinks. Like, this dude will scream at the top of his lungs at a table when he sucks out, and will like
I'm a legend!
He'll apologize at first, and then say, "Nah, f that
Yeah.
dude. I don't care what you think."
Yeah.
And you just appreciate some refreshing, brutal honesty.
Okay, Bob with the not so subtle flex. I don't have a bracelet, but I have a 7-figure stock account. Love it. Love that.
Okay.
Love hearing that with my $0 stock account.
Yeah.
All my money. Okay, that's not true. I don't have a $0 stock account, but it's like it may as well be compared to 7-figure.
I have a $50 bill, I think, somewhere around here.
Somewhere. I could dig it out maybe out of a coat pocket.
That's right. I got to move some things around, but I think I do have a $50 bill.
I had a good day playing at the tables today. So
that's nice.
It was. I got to tell you, it was quite a relief. Hard earned in some spots for sure.
Okay, so middle pair for Rick, top pair for Eric C. Satish has nothing.
Yeah, Satish with nothing but backdoor Broadway, backdoor straight hands, and Dream.
Usual suspect says, my bracelet says, do not resuscitate. It's a different kind of bracelet, but very important.
I like it. It's funny.
DNR.
But here we go. Rick going to donk out here. Middle pair. Middle pair donking into 2 players. And I think Eric just going to make a flat call here. It's going to be the standard the vast majority of the time.
So we've got a pot brewing.
We certainly do. We could maybe potentially see Rick go home. How about a king on the end? Wow, that's a really I'm really surprised we saw Rick check here. I think if I saw the king pair.
Eric instant shoves.
Eric instant shoves. Yeah, I think if I saw the king pair here with the queen, I probably would have shoved myself. It makes, once the top card pairs, it makes it so much less likely that your opponent has it. But man, Rick makes a really good fold here. So now like a super good fold.
Very good fold.
Yeah.
2.1 million chips for Eric now.
Yeah, but Rick is unfortunately incredibly short at this point. So he's going to have to make some moves quick or face the music. So third place. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Third place in a 200-man tournament is nothing to sneeze at, all right? So, and neither is the $5,000 payout that comes with it.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Sick
prize for $300 buy-in.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think.
Keith Gwaltney says, where are them likes, though? These guys talking or watching for free? Are 450-ish people sleeping? You know what, buddy? I agree with you. I mean,
we're at 176.
We hit the like goal and all, but I'm going to bump it up to 250 because now that I see there's like 670 of you in here, it's a lot more than when I made the original like goal, okay? So we got to pump it up. We got to pump it up.
Satish with 3 million in chips, and ace-4 off.
Very natural open.
In the small blind.
Very natural.
Quick
Snap call. Like, damn near beat him in the pot with the 9-5 suited.
It's pretty off-putting when you have ace-4 out of position.
But one of the best boards possible for it, though. I think a c-bet is in order so often. 100% of range, damn near, in a blind battle, and he does get it done. Getting a little extra value there for the ace-4 by raising it up pre-flop.
Faison says he just liked. Thanks for the like.
Thank you for the like. Appreciate it. Bob says nothing like changing your mind midstream. Hey, we adjust, all right? We make adjustments. That's what you have to do in poker. You have to make adjustments.
That's right.
That's my justification. William Morley says, no way, stop it. We hit the goal, give us extra stream time. No.
It's not, well, it's
not how it works.
It's not possible for a tournament.
Yeah,
it's like we're here until the tournament ends.
You could listen to me and Ben Kirby, chat about X all night.
Yep.
And I'm sure you'd be happy to do it.
And we've come pretty close. We've had some pretty late nights here.
Sometimes we've had some late nights here, especially on these tournament final tables, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're typically not here past 11 p.m., but this final table for this tournament does not typically start even until about 9 o'clock. Kangaroo says, Greg, when do you think Bex will be back in the big game? Such a solid player, by the way. I really appreciate what you do day in and day out. Love your excitement for the game. Can't wait to meet. Well, I can't wait to meet you either, sir. So thank you for the love. I appreciate it. I'm sure we'll see Bex again. Yeah, and I agree. He's played very solid every time he's been on the stream. So I'm certain that will not be the last we see of him. Wow, pure flip here. Eric C taking it down with the dominating
Rick's only
5
got
here.
365 behind.
Yeah, Beck's very, very short.
We started with 186. We're down to 3. We're playing for $14,000 up top. These players right now are guaranteed a little over $5,000. Second place gets 9, and they've been at it for over 12 hours now. It started at 11 a.m. today. $365 buy-in, unlimited re-entries. So Eric C. looks down at 10-4. Rick, he's probably got to go with this one.
Oh, pocket eights, 100%. All
the
day. Ship
snowman.
here, nothing to do.
You love to see a pair when you're short stacked.
Yeah, this is about as good of a scenario as you could ever be in. And I think he is going to rip it, as we see. Oh, Satish, very easy call, King Jack. Oh, here we go. We can see the game change here. Classic flip tournament. Let's go, ladies and gents.
Rick's tournament life on the line with pocket eights versus King Jack. And Kings and Jacks on the board.
I mean, 8's still live. They're drawing to an 8, but Kings and Jacks for Satish continuing to run amazing.
This man
2 outs for Mr. Rick, man. 2 outs.
Satish has
all
lost
he's
very
got.
few all-ins.
Wow,
And how
and
about
how about a
Kings
boat?
full of Jacks
How
for
about a boat?
Satish. Rick's going to be eliminated third place, $5,747, and we're heads up. We're playing for $14,000. They're guaranteed $9,000, and we are down to the final 2. Shout out to everybody that stuck with us. 186 started, and then there were 2.
Yeah, no kidding. All the people that have hopped in later on the stream, I love to see it. We started with like 100 people in here. Now we got almost 7.
They're talking about an ICM
Oh,
chop.
it sounds like they want to do an ICM chop.
Basically calculate all your chips. You put, and then you count all the chips in play, and then whatever percent of chips you have, you get that combined.
Yeah, the percentage, because right now I have like a 3.5 something, 3.6 million. We can do a percentage.
Always interesting to hear the discussion of chop.
There's no real playbook for how to negotiate these things.
While we've got a moment here, I want to talk about some of the specials we got going at TCH for the whole month of July. We've got poker playback, where it's basically a rakeback system. Obviously, we don't rake your TCH, but if you do put in enough hours here during the month of July, anytime from the 1st until the 31st, if you put in 40 hours, you're going to get 10% of the time you put in back in free time. That will be then added to your account on August 3rd. And if you put in 80 hours, you're going to get 15% back. That will also be added on the 3rd of August as well. So be sure to come out to TCH during the month of July. There's still some time left to rack up those hours.
7 days remaining to get
7
that time
days.
in.
You know what? Putting in 40 hours in 7 days, easy.
Greg does it all the time.
I do it all the time, and there were 2 people at my table that had been there for 48 hours. So
Straight?
Straight.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. Isaac and Will, I believe his name is.
Wow.
Both had been at the table for like at least 30 hours minimum.
That is
So
bananas.
They did it, man. They did it. And I think Isaac left with more money than he started with, so
That's a win. I guess,
that's a
by
win.
definition.
Not a bad day at the office. But yeah, poker playback, that's the special for the month of July. Ooh, wow, we got a hand brewing here. Satish, King, Queen of Diamonds. Eric C, his own diamond draw on the opposite end of the spectrum. How about a queen for Satish? This dude can't miss. Cannot miss.
I guess sometimes you just run this pure.
Wow, Eric taking a stab. Satish going nowhere. I like the call. A lot of people might shy away and fold second pair here, but heads up, like you can never fold second pair. Jack on the turn brings in the flush draw. Eric, if there's a card to bluff on, it's this one, bud, and he is going to continue. Wow, Satish barely even thought about it, man.
3 on the end, so Eric C now has actually got some showdown value, a slither of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't think his 3's good often enough.
Kind of a blocker
Wow,
bet,
and a
300K,
snap
huge
from
pot.
Satish, dude. Wow. Eric says, I have a 3. And a queen. Satish calling all the way down,
These
dude.
gentlemen are playing for an additional, what, $5,000, and they're playing like they're playing a home game
Yeah,
right now.
or a
Literally
limit game.
$5,000 US on the line between second and first.
Quick question from Keith Gwaltney. How do hourly rates compare against rake? Hourly rates are almost always better than the rake system. So theoretically, at a lot of casinos, the cap on the rake is $5 a hand. If you win 3 pots in an hour that hit the cap, you're already paying more in rake than you would be playing at Texas Card House. We charge $13 an hour, and you can definitely beat that hourly. Even at the 1-2s here, the 1-2 plays absurd, so you can certainly beat that pretty consistently if you are, in fact, a winning player.
Safish, it looks like Eric C. might have blind raised on the button.
No. It was just the blinds and the antes.
He just called,
Blinds and the antes.
but he should be small blind on the button.
I think you're right. Wow, all in a snap call. Here we go. No chop to be had, it seems. Let's see what happens. Satish.
So this could be it.
This could be it right here.
Satish in the lead with the chip lead as well. Jack 10 deuce.
Jack on the flop. King Jack.
Dead to an ace
Dead
and
to
a
an
9
ace
now
and a
for
9.
Satish.
Because he's got the 7 for the gutty.
And he hits the ace. Ace on the river.
Ace on
Satish
the
takes it
river.
down for $14,089.
And there it is. Satish, man, taking all the chips.
Hits a miracle on the river. He lost very few all-in situations.
Pretty much none.
Steamrolled this final table on his way to $14,089. Well played, good sir. Well played to you, Eric C. Fun times for all.
Yeah, for real. Wow, we love. It's very rare that we actually don't end up chopping on this final table. So congratulations to Mr. Satish. As far as I understand, that is his first final table here at Texas Card House. So congrats to him. Congrats to Eric C. Second place. Nothing to sneeze at, man.
Yeah,
in this
$9,000 for this gentleman.
Yep.
Pretty nice. Thank you to everybody that tuned in for this final table. GG's all around.
Yep.
Very fun stuff, all 700 of you. If you didn't hit that like button, hit it on the way out.
As well as subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can get a piece of all the high stakes action we got going on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and every other Friday.
For sure. And that's going to do it for us. Greg, thanks for all the great analysis as always. Thank you to the chat for the even better analysis. And, we appreciate you joining us.
Legend.
And we'll see you on Tuesday night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.